out of game, sort of like the sending stones that Badger has.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just like if someone 3D printed the exact object. It's not the same. It has like some connotation to it that carries over because that's just part of its design. But this, you can't tell if anything has been housed in this one.
Do you wouldn't happen to know like what this in the original one when it got dropped? She wouldn't, unless Tolis asked, she wouldn't have explained, what the original, why it would have gotten dropped.
Tolis the original, I will say that Tolis is not Brock. She's inquisitive. She's not pushy.
Yeah, but like if it was relevant to the story, is what I'm saying. Is Dolly would have.
Mm-mm.
Okay, sounds good. The original, it got dropped and it disappeared.
Shakes her head. Can't really say. I mean, from how this one fails, a number of different things can be stored in here. Like the sort of spirit I have, others, like they're called Loa spirits for a certain type of faith in the Penensian Confederacy. But there are other facets as well of Penensian faith that this could have housed. She's just like holding it, like turning it, twisting it around. Seems pretty big. She thinks of how to say it. It could have held a Rakshasa. You've never heard this term before.
Yeah, raise an eyebrow.
It's a type of spirit in one of the other faiths of Penensian culture. More malevolent. More powerful.
I'll fucking say.
Well,
when you said these spirits tend to attach themselves to people, or the Perenzi want that to happen, right?
She nods.
Does it always happen like you have it? Motion vaguely behind her, like she mentioned.
No. It's complicated. I'll try to be brief on it. Perensian faith is very, 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 very contingent upon this idea of balance. And she does like 2 scale like arms with her actual arms to like obviously illustrate it. Perensians believe that all people have a darkness and a light inside them. Fair enough. Makes sense. But that these are not static amounts. It's not just a case of everyone is born with light or dark in them. They're variables. She looks around and grabs like a couple of coasters and sort of begins illustrating like a bar, like 2 bars, like one that goes this way, one that goes this way. But there's only so much space in a person's, well, just a person, their mind, their body, their soul. When light increases, she moves one coaster up and then slides the other one down. Dark decreases. To Penensians, they believe she moves them both to around 50% in balance. But people aren't so easy. They're not so strict. They're not so blatant. Sometimes there's little movements and she begins like shuffling them up and down. But then there are times where tragedies and other great things or bad things occur. And she just like moves one to 0%, one to 100%. And it's important for Penensians to find the balance, as I said, and they will actively search for that. Like a spirit. Latching a spirit to you, she moves them back to 50%, can help you keep balance. But when you latch a spirit to yourself, it's almost like a constant tribute. So if I were to get a spirit of darkness, she begins slowly moving the darkness bar up and the light bar down. Eventually, I'll just be put into the same situation, but the inverse. So what do I do then? I try to be a better person. She moves it back to 50% slightly, or I can try to find another spirit to latch onto me. She moves it back to 50%. It's a give and take, constant in Penensian culture. She frowns a bit at it, houses of debauchery and things like that in the Penensian Confederacy for people to work out the light in them. But then there's the opposite. Churches and temples, generous places of donation where you can do the other way. And they're all accepted in Penensian culture. So too are the connections to these spirits. Some are more powerful and evil, like Rashasa. Some are smaller, more benevolent. Some people have a number of spirits shackled to them. To those of you listening, you get a bit of a flashback to the charlatan from earlier today. Yeah. And think about it now, it sort of clicks with you, right? If he's a guy that has spirits of fortune and misfortune, maybe there's a reason he called Badger a cuck virgin. To sort of keep balance. You know?
One does not need a reason to call.
The reason is just a nice little bonus.
Oh my god. You don't know. You're not sure how Parenzan that guy is, you know. And that's the thing that Tolas does highlight. Like, these aren't necessities of life in the Parenzi people. It's a cultural touchstone. It's what's expected of you. Just like how Eulonians are expected to be noble, etc., right? So, it's a give and take. So, in relation to the question, sometimes the darkness in you makes a deal that the other side of you doesn't. They're both you. Does that mean you do or don't consent to it? She shrugs. The Perendians just accept that. And I understand that. I think as a Eulonian I can't fathom it, but I can't deny them their freedom of thought.
What purpose would... I still don't understand how this would have made its way all the way to me.
He shakes his head. Now that is something I can't really speak to. Perennians have a lot of ships that go across Lake Following, and they also have a lot of sailors that go abounding around the place. Some of them do go to the Southern Freedoms and things like that. But I can't imagine one got so lost to make its way to your homeland. Unless it went there with purpose. What purpose, though? Like immediately loses his wind to his sails. I don't know. She's like, yeah, so we're back at square one.
I can't remember how the information got to Dahlia. Whether it was L'Autre or the thing that spoke for the Medusa Darkwood, or if she just kind of interpreted it, I guess. But the idea behind this object being there was, isn't it something trying to supersede the Darkwood? Or threaten the... I don't remember what the point was.
If that's how you remember, that's how you remember it. You're getting no help from me on that.
Okay. And she says nothing about it.
Around this time is where Caspian shows up. Which actually did make a token for the boy. He's similar to Ernest as well as Blair in that he has very pale hair. I think I already described that to you. So, just to set your guys' expectation, here's our boy. He's totally a fucking twink, but yeah, I digress. He does not have butterflies in his hair. I didn't bother getting rid of
I was just about to be like,
no, he doesn't have those. No, he doesn't. But we'll end session on that. With the femboy entering the...
I have some
my favorite femboy, let's go!
Unfortunate for me, but unfortunate news regarding my attendance.
Yeah, you're gone until January 3rd, right?
7th.
7th, my bad. Well, the news is, next week, we're not playing this campaign at all. Next week is Ninot's one-shot.
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned.
On the 28th, we'll see. We'll play it by ear to see. That's Christmas. I personally don't give a flying fuck, because I don't celebrate holidays. But, we'll see where we sit there. It's a late start day, though, so...
Mm-hmm.
As for the January 4th, I don't know about that. We'll have to play it by ear.
Copy that. Well, if you guys play when I'm absent, Caradoc will be like, yes, please, inspect.
Yeah, Blair is a native of this. Well, she's not originally a native of the city, so I guess it's not native, but she's an inhabitant of the city. She's from a town not too far from here, westward. But yeah, she just came down from the Crafters Parish. she had heard that there was like half off drinks down here. That
Nice.
is not the case. That was a lie. But yeah, that's just what she heard. That being said, with how many people are buying drinks for their laments, and she is a lovely lady, there's a non-0% chance she gets a free drink anyways.
That, yeah.
Thumbs up. Congratulations, you guys have met some crossover characters who are in different lives, but also not too different from how they were. Well, I guess Blair is probably the most different from how she was, but also not different from how she was. I don't know.
It feels like her epilogue in a way.
In a certain regard, I can see that. You guys can meet her dad when he's alive. He's not like murdered and brutalized. So that's cool. That's cool.
He's been defrosted.
You guys saw him when you guys helped Blair that one time, but you guys didn't exactly talk with him.
He existed.
He exists.
Oh, Crash, did you see the meme I sent about Ernest?
Yeah, I did. Ernest, if you guys want a friend in the city, he could be a good one. You guys could flirt with him.
You got a friend in Ernest.
I'll think
He's
about
got
it.
a friend in him.
I'll
Alright,
think about it.
Let's say, boop.